Hi Asha, how are you? I hope you're fine. All right, hi to you all. I hope you all are great. Today we will have dictionary skills. First, you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. Click on your name, move on to language at the grade 5. Chapters dictionary skills and lesson will be use guide words, use dictionary entries. I'm fine also. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, guys, we'll start now. What are guide words? Guide words appear on each page of a dictionary. So if you have your dictionary, you're always going to see your guide words. They tell you the first word and the last word on the page. The guide word on the page come between the guide words in alphabetical order. So it comes in alphabetical order. To put words in alphabetical order, put them in order by their first letter. If the first letters are the same, so if you're putting the words in alphabetical order, you have to put them in order by their first letter. If the first letters are the same, you have to look at the second letter. If the second is the same, you have to look at the third. And that's how you go on and on and on. Okay? For example, we could have like true and try. So you can see that it's both T. So you have to look at the second. Now the second is both R as well. So you would have to look at the third. If one word is shorter and there are no more letters to compare, then the shorter word comes first in alphabetical order. All right, so for example, B comes before bed. So you can see that we have B and we have bed. Of course, B is shorter, so it comes first. Okay, so you have to make sure that your guide word is in alphabetical order. You're going to put the words in order according to the alphabet. If you have C, cup, and come, you can see that the first letters are the same. So you have to look at the second letters. For cup and come, we have come first and then cup next because M comes before what? You. Okay. All right. So let's look at some examples. All right. So we have which word would you find on a dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have waddle and then winter, right? Okay, so we have waddle and we have winter, right? So which word can we find in between waddle and winter? Of course, we have WA and WI. So according to your alphabet, this is the option we have. So we have wine and ring. Okay, so let's look at these two words. This is WA and WI. So in between the A up until the I, that's the ABCD up until I, which of the second letters here can you find? Because we all know that the first letters are all the same, so we're working with the second letter. So the second one in Waddle is A, and then the second letter in winter is I. So up from the A up until the I, which of the second letter in wine and ring can you have? Of course, we can have wine because when we say the alphabet from A up until I, we have H. So let's try. Let's say A, B, C, E, F, G, H, I. So you can see that this is the A here, and then this is the I, the last. So we have H in between A to I. So we can see the H here. So that means you can find wine in between the guide word waddle up onto winter. You cannot find ring because after the W you have I, and W comes like later on in the R comes later on in the alphabet. So you don't find ring, you find only wine. Okay? So we have, would you find the word form on a dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have ferry and we have feet, right? So let's look at it. So we have ferry and then feet. Okay? So will you find form in between the guide word fairy and feet? So we have F, all of them starts with F, right? But look at the second letter, we have A and we have I. Of course, when you say the alphabet from A up until I, you cannot find O. So O comes later on, all right? So you cannot find form in between the guide word fairy up until feet. So this one says, which word would you find on a dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have card and collar, right? All right, so we have card and we have column, and these are the guide words. So you have in between clutter and creeps, right? So which one would you find? So we have CACO. So we say the alphabet from A up until O. So when we have the alphabet, we can find CL, that's the clutter. So we can find, when we say the alphabet from A up until O, we can find L there. But we cannot find R because R comes afterwards. So you can find clutter in between card and collar, but you cannot find crips. Okay, tell me if you have any questions. So we're moving on to the test. Would you find the word walk on a dictionary page with the following guidebook? So we have wine and we have wig. Is it possible for us to find walk in between wine and wig? Tell me your answers. All right, good job. So we cannot find walk in between wine and week because walk is WA and wine starts from WH. So the alphabet we have is from H and I, right? So you cannot find A in between H, I. When you say the alphabets, you basically have H, then I. So you don't have A in between. A is in front. So the answer is going to be no. So we have, would you find the word protest on a dictionary page with the following guide word? Painter and penis. So would you find protest, yes or no? All right, so we have no, we cannot find protest in between painter and penis. All right, so we have, can you find the word exhaust in between elevator and evidence? All right, so no, we cannot find exhaust in between elevator and evidence. So would you find, which word would you find on the dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have cattle and coral. So which of them would you find in between these two? Is it chill or cruise? Okay, so we have true. We can find true and not cruise. So can we find the word help in between home and hustle? Yes or no? Okay, so we have no. We cannot find help in between home and hustle. So, would you find the word gleam between garments and groove? So, can we find gleam in between garments and groove? So what? Yes, because we can find L in between A up until R. So, which one would you find in between dark and dick? Is it dentist or draw? Okay, so we can find dentist in between dark and deep. So what word would you find in between gear and gourd? Is it gap or glow? All right, so we have glow. You can find glow in between. All right, that's it for the first lesson. We'll move on to the next one. If you haven't done this lesson, you have to try to complete it. So we have used dictionary entries. All right, so a dictionary entry gives you many kinds of information about a word. So if you have a particular word, the dictionary entry is going to give you different meanings to that word. For example, we have check, we have the pronunciation, it is a noun, we have checks, and then we have the pilot conducted a safety check before takeoff. So that's like the meaning of the first one of check and inspection. The second, a bill at a restaurant. We finished our meal and then asked for the check, a written order telling a bank to pay our money from a specific account. My grandparents sent me a check for my birthday. So the entry word is the word you look up. Entry words are listed in alphabetical order. So if you have an entry word, you have to look it up and they are listed in alphabetical order. The pronunciation tells you how the word should sound. So for example, the check, this is the entry word, and then this is the pronunciation. The pronunciation tells you how it's supposed to sound. And then the third one, the part of speech, tells you whether the entry word is the verb, an adjective, and or some other part of speech. So you can see that for check, it says now. All right. So number four, the different forms of the entry words are listed so that you can see how to spell them. Most dictionary list the plural forms for noun entry words, comparative and superlative forms for adjective entry words, and the conjugation for verb entry words. So a definition tells you what the entry word means. If an entry word has more than one meaning, then each meaning is numbered. A sample sentence shows you how the word can be used in context. So this is a typical example of the word check that we've seen. It tells us the part of speech, pronunciation, different meaning of checks that we have, because you've seen that it's could be a bill that you pay at a restaurant, or it could be a written note that you take to a bank. So if it's going to have like different meaning, you're also going to be able to see the different meaning, and with it will come with examples as well, so that it's going to be very easy for you to understand the meaning of the word. All right, so let's look at some examples. So for example, we have select the entry word in this dictionary. Select the entry word in this dictionary entry, right? So we have wind, and look at the pronunciation, and it's a verb. We have winding, wood, to twist or turn something around, wind the ribbon around the stem of the flowers, to have a lot of bends. The road winds around the mountains, to turn a key to make something work. I watched him wind the old grandfather clock. As you can see, it all comes with examples. So we have what the entry word is wind. So which is the pronunciation? Look at the pronunciation over here. Make. So you can always see the pronunciation is already always written in. So it's always written in a bracket with just strokes like this. And then entry word, of course, we have team. So basically, the entry word is what you search up in the dictionary. So it says to select the pronunciation in this entry word. So we have serve, serve, verb, serving, served. So which of these is the pronunciation? All right, so this is the pronunciation of serve here. Okay. So select the entry word in this dictionary entry. Is it ting, check, or tina? Which of this is the entry word? Okay, so teen is what? The entry word. That's what you just search up when you want to find a word. So select the part of speech in the dictionary entry here. For force, what is it? Is it noun, check, or force? Which of them? Okay, so we have noun. The part of speech is a noun. So select the fourth sample sentence in the dictionary entry. Is it what Mr. Shepherd still listens to his old record, or check? Okay, so Mr. Shepherd still listens to his old records. So select entry word in the dictionary entry. Is it fresh, check, or adjective? Which of them? Entry word is fresh. Select the pronunciation in this dictionary entry. Is it what, full, or check? Which of them? Alright, so this is the pronunciation. Okay, that's it for our lesson today on the dictionary skills. Can you tell me if you have any questions? Alright, since we have no questions, we'll end here. Try to complete this lesson if you haven't done it. See you all next time. Bye.